Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody's who's in tune, who catches us later on the views, everybody who watches the shorts. Hello there, we appreciate you. This is the Bold Prediction Sports Media Podcast. That's Mr. KC over there from the 813, and I'm that dude with the beard, of course, Mr. KC. How's it going, my man?
I'm doing excellent. Dude with a beard, hanging in here, getting excited about this off season. Not to mention, the NBA playoffs, or yeah, NBA playoffs going on. Seeing a little March Madness, pretty exciting.
Oh,
Baseball's
yeah.
getting started.
Oh,
Sports
yeah.
live and well.
No, for sure, without a shadow of a doubt. Especially since my Lakers are resurgent, looking like we're getting ready to take the fifth seed, maybe. Nobody thought we could do it. We were looking bad. Well, we got rid of what Russell Westbrook, and everything's been golden ever since. So we're gonna see what happens, man. I'm looking forward to it. We're gonna start covering it. It is basketball season officially. Official. Even though it's official, but it's official. Yeah, March Madness was
Six does.
crazy. Yeah, no, March Madness was crazy. We got a lot of good games, a lot of upset games too. So we're looking forward to sports in general. WrestleMania was amazing for those who caught it. Um, those who didn't, like I said, go watch the highlights. AEW got some pay per views coming up that we're gonna do some coverage on. It's just a really good time to be a sports fan. WWE landing the deal to pretty much merge with the UFC at this point. They're getting under one umbrella, and now this thing is really about to blow up. $21 billion company. It's a crazy, crazy, crazy situation happening there. Like I said, the world of sports entertainment is going up, so we're gonna see. But tonight, we
Absolutely.
are here. We are here to talk about the NFC, and you know which side we on. We finally made it to the wiki, like my boy Will Smith would say, the wiki wild, the wild NFC West. Mm-mm-mm.
Oof.
And ladies and gentlemen, there's really not that much work to be done, which is the scariest part of this division. This thing is so tight. Um, yeah, let's go ahead and start this thing on off here. I'm gonna dive right into it, and I'm gonna start with my Seattle Seahawks. Not my Seattle Seahawks, but a team that I've been real high on. Uh, a team that has no question at QB1, so they're going into the next season confident and ready. Uh, they signed key additions. They got Bobby Wagner back. They went and got Draymond Jones, Jaron Reed, Devin Bush. So that middle is starting to look like maybe the Legion of Boom that left the secondary and moved into the to the box now. So we're gonna see on that. They still got DK. They got a couple of receivers here. Um, the only real thing that the team needs, a glaring need, they signed a center, but you would want to get a young guy out this draft, especially when they're chock full of talents. And the picks that they have here really is going to pay dividends. They could also use another safety. So diving right into it, the draft picks that they have here, round number one, pick five, of course, which is a coveted pick. Thank you, Broncos, for that pick. Russell Wilson pick right there. That's the
The
Russell
gift that keeps
Wilson pick right
giving.
there. The gift that keeps giving. Ladies and gentlemen, like I said, go back to the previous verses we did about them contracts. Russell Wilson strikes again. Mr. Casey might have a point on his hands right there. It strikes again. But they get pick number five from Denver, which will settle at least two of the three problems I mentioned. Either boom, you get your center at five, or you get you another receiver who's going to be an explosive playmaker on the opposite side of DK, or you go ahead and get you another lineman. You would really want to take a lineman that early. I think receiver you can kind of find with the second pick. there'll be another guy there. But if you want an explosive dude, Ohio State is calling. There's a couple of ballers up there that you can go and get. They got pick number 20 also in the first round. So like I said, you address one issue early, boom, later on, just address another one. It's like they're set up so good to really fill some of these roster spots that are need to be filled. Pick they got round number 2, pick number 37, another Denver gift, the gift that keeps giving. Then they
Oh, so
got
they
pick
got a
number
first and a second from Denver this year. Whoa.
yes,
Those are good,
exactly.
high
Why think
quality picks too.
dude, they have 3 picks in the top 50. Like goodness gracious. And then their
Mm,
second pick in the second round is pick 52. So you get another guy right there. Pick round number 3, pick 83. Round number 4, pick 123. So you got all those picks already before the top 150. And then you got the 151st pick off of Pittsburgh trade and the 154th pick. So really with that top
mm.
7 there, well no, what is that? 6, 7, 8, that top 8 picks there, man.
Those are
They can
pretty quality
fill
picks.
yeah, and they can fill a lot of positions and add depth to a lot of positions. Just really at that D line position, if you can start adding depth there, get you a couple of those corn-fed boys from Alabama, or you can go ahead get you a couple of
Yeah.
dog
And I
mouth.
think I feel like they even have enough draft capital there that if they wanted to move up in the first round, they could even take like a second round pick and throw it in, and maybe move up a few spots and let
Right,
give them 20 to 15 or something if they see a guy they really like. Like that's
they could because you got enough capital. You can give them that in the round 4. We get 123rd pick and a
and
20th pick.
and you said the number 5 overall, so that's right in that prime. Can I get a quarterback, high value kind of category?
Hmm.
Do you think they look at a quarterback with Geno Smith being there, or do you just say
No,
we're riding with Geno 100,000%,
they're riding with him.
and maybe even slide back to like 10 or 15 or something with that one, and
They're
pick up
riding with him.
another second.
I think they had, matter of fact, I think they had re-signed Drew Lock again. I think
Yeah,
he's the
I
backup
mean,
out there again. So they're gonna
yeah,
ride with Geno, like for sure. If not, they like Drew Lock already enough to bring him back. So
yeah. I was thinking more of like sit behind Geno kind of thing, but because
yeah,
at fifth you're still too late for any of the real top, probably top 2 or 3 quarterbacks.
right. It's
But you
over.
can
I mean,
really, yeah, it's kind of you did kind of miss the ball there.
yeah, I'm saying it's kind of over. I'd ride with Geno again, QBR, and then he'll have another season with some new talent, and then with a more with a dominant defense. At this point, they look pretty good already on paper, but it's depending on what they can add. And dude, Seattle's really got a chance to right the wrongs, if you will, or right the ship,
Hmm.
however you want to put it. Playoff season for sure. Um, I think
Yeah,
here. Oh, go ahead.
I got a question for you. What are they looking like with the cap space? I know they got Gino to like a team friendly deal. It doesn't really cost them too much. Does that leave them with some little wiggle room if they want to make another splash?
Oh, well, right now, I believe where are they at? I think they were at 11 million.
11. So
Or
nothing too
no, that
crazy.
was after the yeah, no, it's 11 million, yeah. That's what they're sitting at
Okay,
now.
so
So nothing too extravagant, but I mean, enough to still if you want to get a guy who's there, maybe somehow you enter the Odell Beckham conversation. I don't know, but
right, depending on the price tag and whatnot,
right.
absolutely.
And from what I was seeing here in a few reports, they talking about he won't like what I was saying about around 10 million. Like that's what he's
Yeah,
looking for, and that's what I was saying. I was like, tell the Chiefs, man, get that man that 1 year 10 million.
it's not a bad deal. Yeah, one for
It's
10.
not.
I I heard it was closer to 15, and that just sounded a little rich for my blood. So
Mm-mm. No, if it's 15, we getting a 3 year. You gonna have to get a 3 year, like $25 million deal. then the last year be on us on the team decision. Like that'd be the only way you getting that kind of money. And most of that's
Yeah,
back
and
pay.
I really want to. I don't know about signing them to three. That just seems
I know,
long.
I
That
know,
seems long.
I know it. But no, they're not in bad shape here as far as what needs to be fixed. Like I said, there's not too much that needs to be fixed. They got a culture there already. The team likes Gino. They believe in him. I'm a fan, obviously, of what Gino's done last year and what I think he's going to do next year. I really think that they're in a better quarterback position than another team who's in their division right now, who is soon to be talked about. But we'll see what happens in that regard.
Right, absolutely. Well,
Yeah, because who else? There was one more note I had on them, and let's see here, because they needed another wide receiver too, and I looked on my list and I was saying who could be a good fit that was still sitting there, and I lost it in my depth. I would say in my depth chart, in my tabs, ladies and gentlemen. I done lost it here. But I will find it and I'll let you guys know by the end of the show who it was. Because it wasn't a
absolutely.
splash pass, but it was enough to move the chains just to give Gino a little bit more.
Well, while you're looking for that, let me go ahead and hit them with my little team that I've got.
Crowder, that's who it was.
Crowder.
Yeah,
Okay.
he'd be a nice little between the sticks guy for him. Like I said, because it really you want to have like I said that underneath cushion for guys like that to really see how much they can spread the field around. Because he's easy to throw it up to DK, but if he's triple covered, you got to have some more options. So
Right. Yeah, it'd be nice to give him a little extra talent. Maybe stiffen up that defense a smidge to, you know, keep it a little closer. I mean,
oh
they're right
yeah,
there in it. They're in the mix.
for real. Yes, sir. So, who you got coming up on the slate here? Who needs some fixing?
Well, I'm going to start with the worst of the two of my selection, as per usual. And this team might be a little rough. We're going to go in with the
Mm.
Rams first. And with the Rams, we're looking for a little bit. Well, a lot of things that we got going for us is we still have Matthew Stafford, which is still a high quality guy. You still got Cooper Cup, another top tier wide receiver
Are they
type.
shopping Stafford?
I don't think so. I think they keep
Oh, I thought I
Stafford.
heard something about that. Okay, maybe I didn't.
I just feel like that combo. Maybe once they're all done together, kind of thing. I think they've got one more season in them with the Rams, and that does bring an interesting question that you talk about it because when we look at the draft picks, we actually surprisingly have more than you would probably guess for the Rams, right? You
Mm,
probably assume Rams, no draft picks ever, but
yeah.
we're working with a little bit. We got pick number two, number 36, pick number three with 69 and 77. That 77 comes from
Okay.
Miami. And then,
Thank you.
in the fifth round, pick 167. And then we've got a bunch of just junk sixth and seventh round picks that we're going to have to really dig deep and challenge these scouts to find those real big diamond in the roughs. Now, folks, we've seen seventh round draft picks, multiples start for a Super Bowl Super Bowl winning team. So it's not out of the question that the Rams can use these junk picks and still pick something. Now,
Right.
what we're really looking for is a common theme this offseason. Everybody is looking for defensive backs.
Oh
We
yeah.
need edge and offensive line. I think there's a lot of guys that can kind of fit, In that second round, you can see like a Cam Smith, an
Mhm.
Emmanuel Forbes, Julius Brents. I've seen a lot that have kind of suggested that's the way the Rams are going to end up going. He's out of K State in the third round, so you might be able to wait a little bit there. I could see an Ohio State guy. Shout out Dude with a Beard, his favorite team.
Gotta
Their
have.
offensive tackle, Dewan Jones. I can see them taking him with that second round pick.
Oh, I think he
Um,
go. Whew, that's for another show. I actually got him going somewhere else, but he'll
mm.
end up in red for sure. Let's say that.
Sneak peek, folks. Little hint cough situation. I could
Hmm.
dig it. I could see the Rams taking a running back in the maybe like the third round with like a Tank Bigsby or something like that from
They need
Auburn.
a skill player back there that could give him some help. Yeah.
Yeah, bad. And really kind of in that wide receiver category too.
Right.
I really like Stephon Wilson from as a wide receiver from Stanford. He's a value wide receiver guy that I can see kind of move the sticks for him. Really
Hmm.
like the Georgia corner Ringo.
Oh
This
yeah.
dude, yeah, he's tall and fast, and I could see him going to another team in red. If you catch my drift, I kind of like him as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Um, I think it's rough, kind of looking at the Rams. If you have a healthy Rams team, they're really in contention. And last year was kind of fluky with the injuries. And I think if they use these early draft picks, I mean, we've really only got three in the top 150, but all three in the top 100. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
you got to use those picks real wisely. And we got to hit. We really need a hit, especially in this division.
Oh yeah, because this thing is, like I said, potentially loaded. The Rams at this point are at the bottom of the totem pole for sure. Just even looking at, like I said, the talent around these other teams and what they've amassed so far, and what they've been able to keep together. More importantly, so yeah, we need them to get some
Yeah.
firepower. We need something to happen because if not, they're looking at another season at the bottom, and maybe next year's draft will be a little more friendly. Who knows?
Oof. Oof. Yeah, it's tough to think about, and it's they won the Super Bowl, so whatever they did, it paid off. They paid for it.
Yeah,
Maybe you had to pay for
inevitably.
maybe you had to pay for your sins a little bit, but
Whew.
they could in theory bounce right on back into it if with a healthy season.
They could. We'll just have to see what they're gonna put out as far as wide receiver production. And like I said, that defense, yeah. Like I said, you got rid of Jalen Ramsey. So I mean, you got a couple of holes to fill, but I mean, I guess it wouldn't shouldn't be too big of a hole to fill if you got rid of the guy. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Right.
Man, oh man.
Absolutely.
So next, ladies and gentlemen, we have a team here who really almost needs no fixing. Like it was like just looking at them, going through the roster, and going over what they got, ladies and gentlemen. There's not too much to do with this team, and it's the San Francisco 49ers. Uh, they're still at this point, and I've been on record saying it, the most complete team in football. Uh, the only glaring hole really in this situation is the quarterback decision. Is it going to be Brock Purdy? Is it going to be Trey Lance? Is Sam Darnold going to somehow get the job? Like, what's going to happen here? What kind of moves are you going to make here? I mean, they only got about 3 million in cap space left because everybody's pretty much paid it on the books, and they spent the rest of their money on getting Javon Hargrave to shore up that D line. So, I mean, really there's almost nothing that they need. All their picks this year start in round three, and they're pretty much all almost back to back. Right. So you see what I'm saying? Like you might find something. I mean, you can find some service guys, 99, 100 and one. Oh, you got 99 pick, 101st, 102nd. Then the rest are what you call them
Hey,
garbage times, fifth to sixth to seventh round picks. So I mean, and even as far as depth, they've already got guys on the roster. So it's like you just really draft these guys to see if you really do find a jewel, because more than likely they're going to be cut in this situation because San Fran is really set. Like they have everybody on the books. Like literally, ladies and gentlemen, the only question mark is what are they going to do at quarterback?
yeah, I mean, if you look at last season, what did we see? The only thing they needed was a healthy quarterback, and that would have been just night and day difference for their whole off season there. So I'm right there
Exactly.
with you. I mean, it's terrible that they don't have a first round, second round draft pick and whatnot. And you can cry as a fan all you want about it, but do
Dude,
you
look
need
at your
them?
team. Right. Like, what are
Do
you
you do
talking
you do
about?
you really need them? Like,
Like,
mm,
with what the 49ers have, I would almost it would have to be position by position. I would swap most of the players that we got in Kansas City for some of them guys. Like I don't like
right.
they're complete. If they had Patrick Mahomes and we had everything they had out there with Patrick Mahomes, it would be no question they would be Super Bowl contenders every year. I mean, that's just off the Pat Mahomes effect anyway, but just saying that's how loaded these guys are. So I don't know what they're gonna do at quarterback. I hear they want to shop Trey Lance. If they really believe that much in Purdy, I'm not sure because I mean I'm hearing everything is open at this point as far as what they're gonna do until they can get the competition going. We're just gonna have to see it. It's gonna be probably a training camp situation with them because I mean there's nobody
Yeah.
they can really draft. You can't go get Lamar unless you put together some kind of fabulous package. Like you can't. I mean, there's not too many guys out there you can go and get.
And I feel like this is more of that very traditional, something we haven't seen in a very long time. That traditional battle of the quarterback in training
Hmm.
camp. Like that's what
Exactly.
you really hear. You know, most teams, it's pretty clear who the guy's going to be, and in their situation, it's pretty high talent quarterbacks for the both of them. And even if Purdy doesn't look like the better in training camp, doesn't mean he doesn't look better in games. You know, I hate to say it, but he looked real solid. You know, he looked real good, and it puts some questions in your mind about Trey Lance's performance.
Well, that's only if you're watching it with the amazement eye, the caught up in the moment test. Because if you look at it before they just
Mm,
really crumbled when Brock Purdy went down, the next quarterback in who ain't even been there a few weeks went drove him right down and got a touchdown. He had a few good looking drives before they just collapsed totally. So I mean, I'm just so sure that's the Shanahan system. Like I said, it's plug and play almost. Like I said, I'm not hating on Brock Purdy, but a lot of that just you have the ultimate healthy team around you. Like I said, your job is just not to turn it over, Trent Dilfer. Do your job. So I mean, I'm not too amazed with this Purdy thing. Like this is what you should have, what you should do. Like this is nothing but Chad Henne for me. Like yeah, you're supposed to come in and do
right.
you better be able to drive in 98 yards to score. This is what you've been waiting on. This is what you're here for. So,
Yeah, and especially if you take away like his very first game out of his resume, it does kind of paint a slight different picture. And normally I don't like to say things like that, but he has such a limited resume that
hmm
it's like is this what it is, or is this an exception?
right,
You
or
know,
this just what was happening in this situation. That's what I'm saying. You gotta let them battle it
yeah,
out because you can even on the retrospect. I mean, not retrospect, but in retrospect, you look at Trey Lance's. He don't have enough body of work to really, like I said, make a determination. Because when he was in, he won a few games. He's pretty much 500 in his NFL career. So it's not like he's a
right.
loser, but he's not a winner yet either. But like I said, then again, though, San Fran was going through some changes at that time. And then now that they have solid coaching, solid management, and everything, we just kind of have to see, like we said, it's got to be a battle in training camp unless you get a clear cut uh, quarterback. Somehow y'all get into the Aaron Rodgers mix and trade in Trey Lance and all the picks you got in the world.
There's been a little talk of that too, so it'll be interesting to
Look,
see what happens.
it would be because my thing is at that point, are they just going to use Trey Lance to be a bargaining piece for another trade somewhere else? Because I'm pretty sure that's going to be Jordan Love's town. They like him out there.
I don't know. I'd kind of like Trey Lance over Love myself personally, but stranger
Yeah,
things
I
have happened.
understand. Right, I understand. People didn't believe in Vanilla Vic, and here we are. So, you know, things happen
I
in the
think that's
NFL.
comparing comparing him to Vanilla Vic is kind of an insult to Vanilla Vic, and I can't believe I'm
Oh,
saying that.
okay. That's what I'm talking about. A little respect is thrown on this,
But
ladies and gentlemen.
just a
We have
little bit,
witnessed
like hold on
history.
now, like Jordan Love, just he might be a lot of things in life, but he Vanilla Vic's level of success yet. We ain't even got a nickname for him yet. Look,
Right, exactly. Oh man, I just like to hear it. That's all. Shout out to my boy
I
out
mean,
there,
if I'm choosing one, I'm going Vanilla Vic over Benchwarmer too. Like that's just how I view it.
without a doubt. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much all I got on San Fran. Like I said, there's pretty much nothing to fix. These guys, I mean, they got 3 million left in cap space. You don't really do nothing with that. You got to save most of that to sign some of these rookie picks, if you even sign any of these rookie picks. Like I said, probably only pick 99, 101, and 102 is gonna make the team,
Those
if
three,
that. So, and that'd just be some depth. Maybe you get literally a running back. Well, no, not even that. I mean, you kind of set there. I mean, wouldn't be bad to have another guy behind McCaffrey just in case, because he is, with that history, he might go down. He may not though. I wish him all the best of luck on that end.
right.
But I mean, those three picks are the only ones with real value. I mean, you might find something at 155, maybe, but dude, it's really trash time for their picks. But like I said, but when your roster's so complete from the moves you've made during the season and in the last off season, you really don't have much to look forward to. Or you know what I'm saying? Everything is pretty
Right.
much in play. You almost want to be in this position going into the next season where your roster's pretty much set and you really don't even need to use all these draft picks you got. And they got like the most compensatory draft picks I've ever seen. Like, bro, they have one, two, three, four seventh round picks, dude.
Mm. That's
So
wild to
that's
think
what
about.
I'm saying. Like, goodness gracious. And another one of them was via the Russell Wilson somehow. Shout out to the Broncos. Somehow they got a pick. I don't know. But I'm blaming everything on Russell Wilson when I see Denver next to it. So so uh like I said, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I leave it. I leave it at that with these San Fran because, like I said, that's the only decision is quarterback at this point. Everything
Right.
else is set. You got your corners, you got your D line. You lost a few people on the D line. One of them came to Kansas City, but like I said, you signed Javon Hargrave, so that's filled immediately. So shout out to the Niners and official GMing, dude. I love the move they make out there. If you needed a GM and you couldn't get Brett Veach, you'd want John Lynch or whatever the boy name is, Jonathan Lynch, whatever Junior, Esquire.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty impressive for an old football player. Not too
No, it
bad.
really is. Right. Let's see. Who we
Well,
got
I
next
think
on the
we need
list
to bring
here?
up the last little team here, the Arizona Cardinals. Now, normally we save the best for the last, and that is not this team. That just happened to be the flow of the show, and so don't get too excited, Cardinals fans. Based on that, though, I will say this rebuild that's kind of in effect is got some potential to it. We've got to make
Right.
some splash. All right, we got a new coach, Jonathan Gannon, defensive-minded coach. Hey,
Even Paint Splash wanted to
strengthen
fall
up that
over.
defense. Give Kyler Murray a little chance out here. We And since it was such a rough year last year, we're actually blessed because we have what's called draft picks and lots of them. Lots of high quality draft picks. What we are sitting on right now is a very coveted number 3. So, if you haven't been paying attention to this draft, there's a lot of rumors about quarterbacks going on, and 1 and 2 are pretty much gone, pretty much
Hmm.
spoken for in 1 and 2. And there's a lot of talk about someone moving up for like Anthony Richardson, and number 3 spot might be where you have to go to get it. So that leaves the Cardinals in like the
Hmm.
prime real estate category. So we might just see them be trading back out of this first round.
Or maybe we see the
Maybe.
replacement for Kyler Murray.
Probably not. Not with that contract. I just don't see it happening. Um, and really, Kyler Murray could use just a fresh new start. Let's get him some new talent and let's do it this year. So with pick number 1, or in the first round with pick number 3, we're probably trading that back. Then we got pick number 2, which is pick number 34. That's like French first round.
Hmm.
Pick 30 or pick 3, we've got pick 66 and 96. Then pick
Hmm.
number 4 is 105. So like just
That's not bad.
smashing it right there. And then a fifth and a couple six, to throw it in there. And now, as it's been popular to say, again, we're looking for cornerbacks. We really need cornerbacks. We lost Byron Murphy. We use an edge, a wide receiver. They lost J.J. Watt. Um, Rodney Hudson is gone at center. So we've got some serious needs. Um,
And receiver, not to mention.
yeah, there's a lot of I just there's a lot of talk about this, and I just don't see them giving up on Hopkins. I just can't see it. If there's no
Probably gonna
trade
cut him
value,
if they can't trade him. They're gonna cut him.
and you can't cut him. It's just such a cap hit for no reason.
You can cut him. Do that,
I'd rather
Arizona. Do Stick to your roots of dumb
yeah.
decisions and do it, so we can swoop right in like an eagle. Sky. Drop off a bag of money and watch him come eat barbecue.
Uh, I hate even hearing it, but it is a possibility, and maybe it gets you a nice third round draft pick or something, um, some kind of value. I'd like to see a return this year. Uh, Cardinals, it's a rough season. I could see their draft going something like out of that first round, pick up some more picks and do something like guard, linebacker, wide receiver, maybe even pick up another running back, and and really kind of hit that wide receiver and cornerback market real hard. We need to shore up this defense, and if we can get
Mhm.
an edge rusher, it'd be really kind of nice. They lost Zach Allen, and that was really kind of a hit. Um, Between him and J.J. Watt, that was just tons of production between both of them. That's big numbers to replace. So let's use these decent draft picks and see if we can do a little better. Because I think they're going to end up with like at least a first round pick that's a little bit later than third, and probably a second and like a third round pick in this draft. So they need a rebuild, but there's if they can hit all these draft picks at like a good 70% rate, you know, it could turn around real quick. Like
I don't think
especially if
there's
Kyler
much you
Murray
can.
can put on his big little boy pants and uh, stay healthy and have a good season.
Mm, Hopefully, but as far as I can see, they're battling for the bottom. We'll have to see though. Hopefully they can make some moves, and we'll see. Because I was thinking earlier that the real dumpster fire was elsewhere, but that's because I keep forgetting the Cardinals are even in the West. That's how bad they are. So we'll see. Yeah, but they started off the right way. They blew it up. They got rid of the coach. So you know, kudos to them
Yeah,
for at least starting in the right direction.
they were one of my biggest blunders last season. The reason I got to choose them to rebuild is because I made the mistake of picking them to win the division. And between them and the Panthers, those were the two I got wrong, and those both have turned out real ugly. Not even, not even not right, but just terribly wrong picks.
Terribly wrong. Oh god. No, I mean I understand. It always looks promising in the beginning, especially in Arizona. They always look good before the season starts. Everything is flowing, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, and then boom, hit the field, garbage. So one thing at least happened good to Arizona. They got to see Patrick Mahomes twice. So in the
Mm,
stadium that is. So at least Arizona got the
mm,
gift of Patrick Mahomes twice. So other than that, I mean, we'll see.
right.
Oh
We'll
man.
see how it goes for them. Good luck, Chuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, those are your fixes for the NFC West. Like I said, not too much going on in some places. Some other places need a little more TLC. But we're gonna see
Right.
what happens here as the offseason continue to unfold and we're getting closer and closer to the draft. Shout out to Kansas City once again for hosting the draft this year. Like I said, it's gonna be incredible. The city's already excited for it, so it's gonna be an event to say the least.
Are you gonna make it down
It is in my plans. I'm gonna do my best to make it down there so I can get some vibes with the fans, some footage, and really just see this thing go down. Feel the energy of an NFL draft experience. These things don't happen for many
Yeah,
people
that's
unless you live in New York, because it seems like that's just their favorite place to go. But
right.
other than that,
Yeah, I've never
you
been
know,
to a draft, so it'd be interesting to do.
oh yeah, and I already know Union Station's gonna be packed. It's gonna be jumping. So we're gonna see. It should be like I said, it should be a good time. A couple weeks from now, April 27th. So we're gonna see, ladies and gentlemen. But we have something else popping up on our list, our to-do list here. Ain't that right, Mr. KC?
That is absolutely right. That dude with the beard. Da na 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 na. It might just be time for a little versus battle, and this is
Hmm.
kind of a heated discussion between myself and that dude with the beard, along with plenty of NFL fan bases. And it's become a little bit more hot of a topic based off this last postseason game. So let's get into it, folks. That dude with the beard, please present it.
We have the Prince of the AFC, anointed fully. Can't be the king because we know who the king is. But he was promised to us there was going to be a prince, a guy who would one day rise up these NFL ranks and to show dominance in the South. We got my boy, the infamous, the undeniable Trevor Lawrence, and he's going against a guy who's just a guy, in my opinion. Maybe you want to introduce him before I just take him down to where he belongs, which is a few
Well,
pegs, which is a few
well,
pegs.
folks. If you did not know who he is facing second quarterback, entire AFC West, the Justin Herbert. Da-na-na,
That's easy to
legend,
do.
the myth, guy to bring back
You know what? The best thing you said in that sentence was
football
myth. because he is a
to
lie.
LA.
Oh, you
The
cut out
draft
there.
phenom, the next to be paid. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
You said the next to be paid. Yeah, he's
The
gonna be
next
paid
to
next.
be paid.
He ain't gonna get that much money.
Unto, they're not even questioning it. They're ready to open up the checkbook, something like the prince won't never see. That,
What?
sir, is Justin Herbert
Please.
himself,
The best accolade you
phenom.
please. Phenom. This dude is not the Undertaker. What are you talking about? He talking like he the Undertaker. Please. This is Justin Herbert we talking about. Let's boil this thing down here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I think you were saying something, Mr. Casey. It kind of froze you there.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay.
No,
Talking about him for
I was just
oh,
flabbergasted. I was at a
I'm
loss for words at the
flabbergasted.
denial of the
I'm at
greatness
a loss
of
for
Justin
words.
Herbert. Blown away.
Ladies and
I can't even
gentlemen,
believe this is
this
actually a discussion.
he's not I can't even believe it is either because he's not even great yet. I told you a couple years down the road he'll finally make it to my top 5. I'm on record saying that. It ain't a couple years down the road yet. Justin Herbert, the best thing you said about him before it kind of cut you off, I heard myth, and maybe it should have stopped you there because that's everything Justin Herbert is. He's a myth.
Mm.
He's more like what are we talking about here? Let's go with the facts about Trevor
Mythical.
Lawrence.
Mythical like a Greek goddess. Or Greek
Let's
god, I
talk
guess
about
he's
Trevor.
long
Yeah, because
hair
he's
gets a little
pretty
confusing.
soft, so he probably is a goddess. Um,
Soft.
huh,
Soft.
yeah, he's
Hold on.
soft.
Soft.
He's
We all seen
soft.
that Kansas City game
He's
where
soft.
Kansas City absolutely destroyed that man's ribs. He
Yeah,
got back up.
right.
He stood up
Paper
like one of them
mache.
Rocky
He,
movies and continued
uh-huh.
fighting Apollo Creed as much as he could.
Look, he can fight Ivan Drago all he want. He still lost, and he just left hurt. Hurt feelings, hurt
That game.
body. Hurt feelings, hurt body. That's all I'm hearing.
Now,
What
now,
happened? What
now,
happened when
let's
they
talk
played the
about
Jets?
another.
Yeah, what we ain't even got to dive in yet. This is preliminary. It seems like we're just arguing at this point. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because
let
you clearly have forgotten the golden rule when it comes to quarterback comparisons.
what is that?
That's the Pat Mahomes test. The Pat Mahomes test.
Okay,
Have you beat Pat Mahomes? Is
no,
that on your resume? Is that
it's
out? Is
not.
that on your resume, Prince?
It's not. It sure isn't.
It's not. Nah.
No.
Well,
Mm-mm.
guess what? Justin Herbert's done it. No, no, wait. Hold on. Stop, folks. It's a buy one, get one free sale. Not only has Justin Herbert managed to beat Pat Mahomes, he's done it twice, which puts him in a category with elite greatness, such as Tom Brady and that other guy, Joey Burrows, which is top tier elite quarterback play, something that you won't find out of Trevor Lawrence, even if we lowered the bar down to one. Just one
Man,
time.
it's mighty strange you said that because the same guy I guess who beat Pat Mahomes twice, Trevor Lawrence beat twice in one season. Hmm.
Fluky.
And on the
Lucky.
biggest
No,
stage, and on the biggest stage that this guy who beat Pat Mahomes twice, the only time he's ever made it to the playoffs, what happened to him? Can you regale us? I don't think the folks know at home. What happened when Justin Herbert finally got to the playoffs, Mr. KC? What happened?
what
What
he did
happened?
was
What happened when he finally got to the playoffs?
he put up such an electric 27-0 performance that he actually thought the game was over. He
Uh huh.
thought he played so much we're in that day and age where we grew
Did they
up
only
in
score
Madden.
27?
uh, Yeah, it was 27-0.
Oh, and then uh huh.
In the game of Madden, once you score 21-0,
This is all
most
conjecture,
people call
ladies
it
and
a
gentlemen.
game.
You just got to let
You
them
you
do it.
you know 27-0. He was confused about the rules. He thought it was forfeiture. and that the game no longer continued. That's what happened. It was 27-0. He absolutely
So
destroyed Trevor Lawrence 27-0 in the first half.
so not only are you saying that he's only a competent quarterback for half the game, uh you're saying that he's so terrible at his job that he doesn't know that they're still playing. That's what I'm hearing. Man, Justin
Oh,
Herbert.
well.
My kudos to you, man. My hat's off to you. Golly, cheers to you, man. Bully for you, my man. Well, I don't know if they got him some smelling salt after the game because he probably was. He probably just came out of like, hold on, it was just 27-0. What? It's the end of the game. Hold on, we're going home. What happened? You want
It
to know
was
what happened?
confusing.
You want to know what happened? And speaking of Patrick, a Patrick Mahomes esque comeback happened. We're talking
I got
five
it.
straight touchdowns that happened.
And does Herbert give up 5 touchdowns, or does the
Yeah, because
defense give up
like
five
you just
touchdowns?
said, because Herbert absolutely destroyed him for 27. Your words verbatim. So,
It was
so
20.
Justin Herbert got let's say ramrodded. Let's make it sound even worse. Ramrodded in the second half by the Prince. The carriage was out. The coronators was coronating. The jesters were jesting, and the Prince came out and regaled the crowd and gave a performance unlike any other in a playoff game unless your
I
name is
see.
Patrick Mahomes.
See, I think we're really just going off recency bias based off
Recency,
this.
but Trevor Lawrence already played one season. The Urban Meyer season don't count. Everybody knows that.
Oh, the Urban
Justin
Meyer season
doesn't
has to.
count. It
It
doesn't
ha,
count.
it
And
should
okay,
almost
if
count
that even if it does, his resume is still better than Justin Herbert. He's done more with less. Tell me
with
any
less.
tell me any skill player position in Jacksonville.
Well, it's Jacksonville. You can't blame.
Okay, then. So you mean to tell me that you don't think Trevor Lawrence in LA with the team that Justin Herbert have would not have only been to the playoffs probably every year, but maybe even beyond the first round?
Well, I
Get out
can't
of here.
guarantee playoffs every year. He has MVP
More with
in the playoff.
less.
Yeah. You see, my problem I just you were really kind of using the excuse of more or less, but Jacksonville's had all the first round draft picks in the
You're
top
talking
10
about
for the
stuff
last
before
decade.
Trevor Lawrence, before he even got there. We're talking about now.
As he continues
'Cause
there, it
we're
will
talking
happen
about now.
again. It
They
will
haven't had a
happen again.
they haven't had a high first round pick in 2 years. You want to know why? Because they went and got Trevor Lawrence. it
True. It has not happened yet, but it will happen again under the Prince's era.
it won't. And you know another reason why? Trevor Lawrence, the South is officially his. Justin Herbert can't say any place is his. He plays in Arrowhead
The
West.
South,
He
the
plays in Arrowhead
South.
West. What is
We're bragging
what
about
is
the
what is
AFC
Herbert?
South.
What does Justin Herbert have?
The same chances of winning the West as Trevor Lawrence would. You
No,
think if Trevor
what?
Lawrence,
Are you kidding
you,
me?
you think Trevor Lawrence and the Chargers is winning the AFC West? No,
No, they will
he can
never.
win the
That's what I'm saying.
South.
No, he can't because he don't play in the South. If he played in the South,
Anybody
this
could
would
have
be
won the South.
no,
Tannehill
no.
almost won the South.
That's why we know anybody couldn't do
The
it because the
the
Prince did it.
the whoever was playing for
They
the
squandered
Carolina
it. They
Panthers,
squandered it, and that was it.
the Tennessee Titans could have won the South.
That's what I'm saying.
Like
But they didn't.
it's an open.
So
It's a,
what they mean? Of course, you sound like mainstream media. Anybody could have won the AFC West. It's the
no,
Broncos.
no,
It's the
no,
Chargers.
no.
It's the Raiders.
The
Everybody
Chargers.
but
No, that's the
Kansas
exact
City.
opposite of what I'm
Huh?
saying. I'm saying the Chargers had
Yeah.
zero chance of winning the AFC West. You get 3% chance of winning the
No,
AFC West.
they had a better chance of anybody. They were the ones roaring in the end.
I mean,
And we're not going to sit here and act like we both didn't think Indianapolis was going to be the team to beat in the South because they really should have been. They had a quarterback situation. They just crumbled under the pressure. So let's not act like the South ain't feasible. They got three good teams. The only team in question in the South is the Texans. And maybe they make a comeback after they get their quarterback.
no, no.
You
The
know.
whole look, the Texans trash. The uh, the Jaguars not very good.
Not very
Titans,
good. They're the
no.
kings of the South. They
Well,
have the prince of the AFC, the guy who beats the guy that you. Trevor Lawrence made it to the playoffs. His very okay. We're not calling this his very first year. We're counting the Urban Meyer year. So year two, Trevor Lawrence, and look at year two, Justin Herbert. Was Justin Herbert in the playoffs? No.
no.
Does Justin Herbert have better skilled players and a better team than in Jacksonville?
Yes.
So doesn't that go to show you the talent that Trevor Lawrence has to elevate those bums around him to go and win a division that clearly belonged to Tennessee, who had the better quarterback, running back combo, better skill player. Colts, better quarterback,
Cold.
better skill players on paper. They didn't.
No,
You,
no,
uh,
not on paper. Not Matt
oh,
Ryan.
what? Matt
Not Matt
Ryan
Ryan.
coming
Not
into
Matty
this
Ice.
season, you didn't think that Matty Ice wasn't the best
Mm.
quarterback in the AFC South? Because we'll have to rewind the tape on that.
We might have to rewind the tape because I don't think I picked. I think I went. I'm pretty sure I went Tennessee. Uh,
Maybe. But I know this for a fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars will continue to win the AFC South for the foreseeable future. They have a competent coach. They have the best coach in the AFC South, first and foremost.
you winning. You won the Special Olympics. Congratulations. Like
He's
you're
won a
gonna be
Super
in the
Bowl.
playoffs. You're gonna be in the playoffs
He's
because
won a
you're
Super Bowl.
who? Trevor Lawrence is not one.
I
No.
said, I'm talking about their coach. I said they
Oh,
have a competent
yeah.
coach.
Well, that's the whole reason why they won the game versus Justin Herbert. Because Staley couldn't do the
They
he
couldn't
couldn't get
score in the second
the
half.
data sets
Herbert, remember
to
what you said?
realize all you gotta
Herbert
do
thought,
is run the
no,
ball.
no,
All you
because
gotta do
remember
is
you
run the
said
ball. They
Herbert
win
thought
that
the
game.
game was over. Remember,
It
Herbert forgot.
was.
Right,
I did
Herbert forgot.
too.
He forgot to
Herbert
play.
wasn't the only one.
He
You
forgot.
remember me
He
messaging
forgot.
you?
I know you
I
did.
messaged you to talk
I,
trash.
I know. And what happened?
It was the
The
worst.
the prince.
I should have waited 5 more minutes,
The prince.
folks.
Right. The
If I
prince
would have
said,
waited,
"Bring out the executioner," and they took Justin Herbert to the chopping block, and we seen his head roll like Mel Gibson in Braveheart.
if I would have waited 5 more minutes to talk trash,
Ooh,
we would not.
like I said,
We
and
wouldn't
what did
even have had this conversation. It would
I
be
know?
such. If Justin Herbert did not lose that game, this would not even be a debate.
It wouldn't
That is
be.
how big of a gap there is in
And
quarterback play
no, it's not.
between
The
these
only
two.
reason why anybody could say there's any kind of gap is because Trevor Lawrence ain't played as long as Justin Herbert, and it's already sad that he's the clear cut better quarterback.
I mean, I've just watched both
Let
of them
the
play. I've seen them
right
tough it out. I've
head to
seen
head.
I've
Hey,
seen Justin
hey,
Herbert put
how many
on his
times
bootstraps.
how many times Herbert beat Trevor Lawrence?
I don't, I don't,
Huh?
I
He
don't think
huh?
he.
He I don't think he had. How many times did Trevor Lawrence beat Justin Herbert though?
Oh wait, what's a when
How
did
many
this
times? How many
when,
times,
when
Mr.
did
Casey?
when did becoming beating Justin Herbert or
When you brought
beating
him up
Trevor
about
Lawrence
when you
become a
brought
bragging right? That's not
because
what we brag about
they're the
around here.
creme de la creme of the
When have you
AFC.
said, boy, that boy is able to beat Herbert, he must be good? That ain't nothing you ever said. Just like I ain't never said, well, he done beat Trevor Lawrence. You know that's a quality quarterback.
I
That's
said
not
that
what we
when
judge
I
it on.
said that when Patrick Mahomes beat Trevor Lawrence, I said the king continues to rule.
Yeah, because the test for greatness isn't Trevor Lawrence.
That was a
It isn't
quality.
Justin
What do you
Herbert.
mean? That
It's if you can manage to beat the NV Pat. If you ain't got one of these on your resume, what are you talking about? You are not a
talking about
legitimate top five quarterback.
winning in the
You
playoffs.
cannot be a top five quarterback if you cannot go toe to toe with Mahomes. Trevor Lawrence not only has not gone toe to toe with Mahomes, he will never, ever beat Pat Mahomes. And I
Yeah,
put,
that's a stretch.
yeah, that
That's a
never,
stretch. You want to know why it's a
never.
stretch?
I'm writing
Because
this bold prediction, and that ain't even bold. I need to get
ooh,
bold with it, and that ain't even it. Like
As
that's
much as I hope you're right, just for my general sake of fandom,
right.
I'll
You
agree
can't
with
even
you off general purpose. Yes, I do
right.
hope that's the case, but I live in reality. And if Justin Herbert, that bum, can beat Patrick Mahomes, I'm sure Trevor Lawrence can eke out a win at some point in time within the next
Mm,
10 years.
mm. Do me a favor.
I
Remind
will.
me what's the state that you're in has a little saying, right?
Uh
What
huh.
what's that saying for the state of Missouri?
Oh, yeah, it's the show me state.
This is show me
Mhm.
state. And I ain't never seen Trevor Lawrence ever show me nothing that suggested he's beating MV Pat.
Well,
And we don't want
luckily,
shit.
this isn't a Trevor Lawrence versus Pat Mahomes conversation.
It's
We're
not.
talking about Justin Herbert, and he ain't never beat Pat in the play. Oh, he never even
No
seen
playoffs.
Pat in the playoffs, huh?
Mm-mm. Nope.
But I guess Trevor Lawrence
Nope.
did.
Pat
Which,
Mahomes doesn't
which
play in the first round. So
I guess the prince went to talk to the king to see if it was his time to rise before the king told him, "Not yet, my child. Let father do it."
mm,
Patrick Mahomes
mm,
he anointed Trevor Lawrence. That's why he's the prince. What are we talking
mm.
about? The best collegiate quarterback ever. Not only carrying a team, it's Jacksonville. They were in the playoffs.
I
And
mean,
they beat your precious Chargers.
the Chargers were the playoffs. When's the last time you said something like that? Wasn't with old Philly. Old
Yeah,
Philly,
well, Philip ran up there a few times.
a long time ago, 10 years ago. Philip Rivers
Maybe, I
ain't.
don't know.
Yeah, Philip
Maybe.
Rivers ain't. He ain't think about it because it went from the Chiefs making the playoffs every year, and before that it was the Broncos. So like they've been
Hmm.
wild
The
card
Chargers
Freddie
probably sneaked in, yeah, here and
once
there,
or twice,
eke 'em in,
somewhere in there.
yeah.
I'm
But
sure we.
but that's cool. But you're making my point even deeper. When has
I'm
Jacksonville
I was
not
telling you,
only been to the playoffs but won a playoff game?
Herbert's doing some lifting, getting them there. You know that's hard to do on this AFC
Lord,
West.
Trevor Lawrence, if Justin Herbert's doing some lifting with that team that they got, Justin Herbert, if he, like I said, if he's doing lift with what they got, my boy Trevor Lawrence must be setting the world record for deadlift because he
Mm.
carried them dudes from obscurity and took them on a win streak and got
Um,
them right into the playoffs.
I think that's actually a little more evident that it was a coaching, the elite job that Doug
Do you,
Peterson's been doing out there in Jacksonville.
Trevor
He's
Lawrence
out here
numbers
just
at the
coming up
end,
with the most elite, complex game plans to to scheme wins for Trevor Lawrence. Like he's like,
scheming wins.
yeah, look at him. Look,
I mean,
look what happened against the
that's the
Chargers. He
point of
got blown
coaching.
out and then said, you know what? I gotta wipe this all away. Trevor Lawrence can't carry this formula like I wanted him to. Let me mix up a different batch and give him a different formula and try to see if this won't work. And Dougie P did it again. He done did
And
it again.
so, how should I not tear apart these Chargers with everything that you just said, but putting it into relevancy on their end from being up 27-0 to completely collapsing?
To completely 27 to just lose 33-30.
Because so I
Uh,
mean, so how so what
33 to 30.
so I
Uh,
mean so you
27.
let them score 33 point. You almost want to say 33 unanswered at that point because it was damn near 33 unanswered. It
It's
probably
30.
was 33 unanswered,
No,
and
it's
then the
33
Chargers
to
was trying to
3.
get back into it at the end.
Yeah, it was a 33. It was a 33-3 run, which is
How do you get 30 balled in the second half?
um,
Stop playing, man.
your coach doesn't put together the right formula.
No, Justin
You
Herbert
don't have
ran out of
WP.
gas. He gave everything he had in the first half, and he fizzled on out. The
Mm.
moment got too big when Trevor Lawrence and they started driving and scoring. The moment became too big for him, just like we've seen plenty of times. That's why, and I'll go on record to say, the Los Angeles Chargers will not go to the playoffs next year. They won't be a wild card team. They're not going to win the West.
Well, they're not winning the West. I'm not going that far, but I
And
think
they're not
they've
going to be a wild card.
I think they've got real contention. You got
They
Justin
don't.
Herbert back there.
Not
Um,
not if your precious Browns and all these other teams you expect them to make rise in the way you think they're gonna rise. You
soon
think
to
the
be the
Chargers got
highest,
enough?
soon to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, Justin Herbert.
Never. They will never do it.
Mm,
Never. If they do that,
mm.
th- they're shooting themselves in the foot.
I'm not saying it's the right decision, but I'm not
It
saying it's the
won't.
wrong
It
one.
won't happen.
You got to pay the man.
They're not gonna pay him more than Aaron Rodgers.
We'll see. We'll see. He's a gunslinger. He's got a resume
He's a
that
loser.
includes. He didn't lose to Pat Mahomes twice.
He didn't win a
Well,
playoff game
he's
either. He
actually
he he
actually
lost. He
let me
lost to Trevor
rephrase that.
Lawrence twice.
He's lost to Mahomes more than twice, but there
Exactly.
was two times that he didn't.
Right, and there was two times that he couldn't beat Trevor Lawrence either. One of them was in the playoffs. And if you're such the elite guy, and you forgot that you were even playing in the second half, like I said, you're already not competent. You forgot you was even playing.
Mm.
I mean, so
Well, you know what we got to do? We got to leave it up to these fans.
gotta
Well,
do it.
just to give a quick recap of last week's was Larry Johnson versus Priest Holmes. Um,
Priest.
I did I did get some votes online for Larry Johnson. I was not completely skunked, um, but somehow, some way,
It's the priest.
Priest Holmes was the
Bishop Holmes. Come
overwhelming,
overwhelming.
overwhelming favorite. We did have a bunch of people that were confused about the rules and kept mentioning Jamal Charles.
We're
It
not
was
talking about
not,
the GOAT.
yeah, it was not a Jamal Charles versus Priest Holmes debate. It was, in fact, a Larry Johnson versus Priest Holmes
And
debate.
that just
And
shows you how the kingdom even forgets Larry Johnson was even here. He's minuscule, bottom of the line. He's I wouldn't even put him. He's probably number 6 on our all-time running backs list, maybe,
I would have him
maybe.
higher than that with that couple 1,700-yard seasons, something that Priest Holmes
Ah,
has never done. But this isn't that debate. I've
man,
already lost
it's
it.
right because
Um,
we already know Larry Johnson
bad,
never set
bad.
any NFL records. So
Yeah, it was maybe I don't know. No, I should take that rude comment back. He's changed his life. He's a God-fearing man now, so I'll leave
CT
Larry
do that
Johnson
for you.
alone. But yeah, let us know in the comments who you're taking. If you're starting a franchise next year, or you get an expansion franchise, you get any quarterback you want that's not Pat Mahomes. Are you taking Justin Herbert? Or are you taking Trevor Lawrence? Do you want the guy that can beat Pat Mahomes, or do you want the guy that can beat Justin Herbert? It's up to you. Um, let
And
us
just
know in the
remember,
comments.
only one of those guys won a playoff game.
Mm,
So do you want a
a
guy
playoff game.
do you want a guy who can win in the playoffs and then lose to Pat Mahomes like everybody else does, or a guy who can't even get to Pat Mahomes in the playoffs?
That's the question we're asking, folks. You let us know. You let us know in the comments, and we appreciate you tuning into this versus battle featuring Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence.
The Prince that was promised, proper titling. Because Justin Herbert don't even have a nickname yet.
No,
It's amazing. Year 2 in the league, he's already the Prince behind the King. Come on now,
well,
coordinate this man. Where's the jesters? We need some jokes and laughs. We need some
right.
honey hand. What was it? We need some wild beast in here. It's time.
you, you want to hear a funny joke?
Oh yeah.
27-0.
Right. Oh my goodness. Ooh, very like I said, very Patrick Mahomes esque comeback by the
right.
Prince, who learned it from the King.
Absolutely.
Anyway, folks, Mr. Casey, he done hit that nail on the head. We appreciate you guys. Let us know in the comment, like, Comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your little cousins, tell your auntie, the one who's sitting there drinking the wine, let her know we talking about sports and stuff. Tell her to get something else on our mind. He's Mr. KC from the 813. I'm that dude with the beard. Let's go, Trevor Lawrence.